Hello, everyone. Good evening and welcome to yet another episode of Sports Hub with Ivory. My name is Ivory Oji, your host on this show, being aired on Spotify for podcasters. It was formerly Anchor, it is now called Spotify for podcasters. Yes, here on the show we bring to you live updates on sporting events, games and activities all over the world. Our COR, or our center of reference, has always been football and everything that pertains to footballing activities all over the world. You are welcome once again. Afcon started on the 13th of January 2024, and by tomorrow being the 11th day in the month of February 2024, it will be coming to an end. What a period, like what a tournament. Honestly, in fact, it's been one of the best tournaments outside Qatar 2022, the World Cup, FIFA World Cup that was held in Qatar 2 years ago. This Afcon tournament has been the best. Like, it's been the best. We've had a lot of, unprecedented expectations. It's been so unpredictable. It's been fun from the first game down to the very last game that we played tomorrow by 9 p.m. It's going to be a finals between Nigeria and Ivory Coast, the host country. Who would have imagined that Ivory Coast, a side that was on the verge of being eliminated at the group stage, save for Zambia and Morocco. Zambia and Morocco, they were held on Morocco, I guess Morocco, that they are in Group F, right? Morocco won against Zambia. If that game had ended in a 1-1 draw, I don't think we'll be talking about an Ivory Coast being in the finals now, but Morocco won against Zambia and gave Ivory Coast the loophole, gave them that silver lining to qualify for the round of 16 as one of the 4 best losers in the group stage game. So kudos. It's been one heck of a journey, and also kudos to the Super Eagles. Like, against all odds, they had a lot of discrepancies in the course of coming to the competition. Most people never believed excuse me. Most people never believed Jose Posero, and he went ahead to prove all Nigerians wrong, because we never believed he would take the Super Eagles this far. From the group stage games, the games were not really interesting. We scored just 3 goals in the group stage. It was just 3 goals that was scored in the group stage. I guess the first one was against Equatorial Guinea, if I'm not mistaken. The game ended 1-1. Was it Guinea-Bissau? Equatorial Guinea, yes, it ended 1-1. Yes, ended 1-1. Osimhen scored a header. Ended 1. The second game was against Ivory Coast. It ended 1-0. It was our captain Ekong that scored a penalty, and the last was against Guinea-Bissau, if I'm not mistaken. That game ended 1-0. So it was like 3 goals. It was an own goal that was scored by Guinea-Bissau. So it was just 3 goals scored in the group stage games for Nigeria. It was not an impressive group stage games, but since the knockout stage games, Nigeria has been outstanding. They've been outstanding. They won against they didn't concede any goal up until the semi-finals against South Africa. They won against Cameroon 2-0. They won against Angola 1-0 in the quarterfinals, and in the semis it was 1-1, and they won on penalties 4-2. That is 5-3 on penalties, including these goals that was scored at in the course of the game. So it's been an interesting knockout stage games for the Super Eagles, and now they are posed to face Ivory Coast by 9 p.m. tomorrow. They are supposed to face Ivory Coast, the host country, by 9 p.m. tomorrow. So it's been an interesting one, to be honest. It's really been an interesting one. Yes. Yeah. Right. Okay. Now moving on to the business. Other things we have to talk about today. The EPL games kicked off. Yes, we had group. It was group. Not what am I even saying? game week, EPL game week 24 was played today. Yes, today being Saturday, the 10th day in the month of February 2024, and we also have games for tomorrow. And of course, Monday night football, it is going to be Crystal Palace versus Chelsea on Monday night by 9 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. Now we had games that was played today. EPL game week 24 kicked off in all of its might when EPL defending champions, Manchester City welcomed Everton to the Etihad in an early kickoff. The game was played by 1:30 p.m. today. The first half of that game, the Toffees had just one shot on target, and surprisingly, the home side, Manchester City, didn't have any shot on target. This was also Erling Haaland's first game after injury. Like, he has been out for like over 2 months. He has not played over 10 EPL games. He has not played over 10 EPL games, I'm not mistaken. And before he went on injury, he was on 14 goals. He had already scored 14 EPL goals. Yeah. Now, returning back. No one, all through the 10 games that he missed in the EPL, no one scored more EPL goals than him. Like, he ended his season, as in half of the season, that was last year, before he went on injury, on 14 EPL goals. He returned and still maintained that 14 EPL goals. Yes, I understand that we had other players that got for that. No one scored 15 EPL. No one scored 15 EPL goals. No one at all scored 15 EPL goals. So he still maintained the pace. Like, he maintained the top of the league, like the top of the table in when it comes to number of EPL goals, highest EPL goals scored this season. First half, Manchester City never had any goal on any shot on target. Rather, there was no shot on target in the first half. In the second half, Pep Guardiola made some tweaks. Like, he made some changes. He removed the likes of Akanji and brought in their captain, Kyle Walker. He came in place of Akanji, and Matheus Nunes. He was subbed off, and in came in the how may I assist you, master? Kevin De Bruyne came in, and the game changed. Like, they became like, this is the Manchester City. The second half was more interesting than the first half. The second half was much more interesting than the first half, to be honest. And we all know what happened. 71st minute of that game, Erling Haaland scored his 15th EPL goal. It was in fact it was a corner. Then there was a little bit of rumble inside the 18-yard box of Everton's own half, and the ball fell on it was more like it was a goal. It was a gold platter. It was on a gold platter. He got that goal on a gold platter. Immediately the ball fell on Erling Haaland's leg, as in front. He slotted it home. It was a beautiful kicker. It was a beautiful goal. The second goal came in 14 minutes later. He scored 2 goals in 14 minutes. He scored the first goal at the 71st minute, and the second goal was a beauty. In fact, it was a counter attack. Ake started a counter attack. Ake passed the ball to Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne, we know what he does. Anytime he has that ball, Haaland is running. Like, Haaland is, because he knows definitely that Kevin De Bruyne will definitely give him that ball, and that was exactly what happened. Haaland started running, and Kevin De Bruyne passed that ball to him, and we know what happened. Haaland scored his second and his 16th EPL goal of the season. He has 16 EPL goals. He left when it was 14. No one scored more than him. He returned and continued from where he stopped. He's, in fact, Haaland. I tend to call Haaland. He's not from this earth. Like, he's something else. He's an enigma. He's something. You need to sit down and study Haaland as a project. To be honest, like, he is good. He's good. He's a prolific. He's a clinical goal scorer. He's a kind of person that know how that he must score. Even if he's going to miss chances, out of 5 chances, he should be scoring 2-3. That is how clinical Erling Haaland is. I just hope, the only concern I have is that such is not being exhibited in his national team. Such is not being exhibited in his national team. It's not been the same thing in his national team. That's one thing I wish he can, show the same feats that he shows in the group in Manchester City, in Dortmund. He plays the clubs he has played. I wish he tends to transcend such goal scoring mojo to his national team side, that is Norway. Norway, they are not going for Euros, like they didn't qualify for Euros, and it goes a lot to because if you're winning well in club and you're also winning well in your national team sides, a lot of accolades on the international space, you would not be sidelined. The likes of Mbappe to an extent, like he has done well for France. He's also doing well in PSG. What's this other guy's name? CR7 Ronaldo is doing well with Portugal. He's also doing well in Al Nassr and every other club he has played. The GOAT, Messi is doing well with Argentina. He's also Inter Miami has not been it, but then he helped them to win their very first trophy ever. Like, I can't remember the last time Inter Miami won a trophy. So he has been great. It's balanced. Do you understand? It's balanced. So I wish, I hope Haaland, this is a new year, and I believe there will be some games that will be played in the course of the year. I just hope that Norway would try as much as possible to because I believe they have good players in Norway. Yes, they have good players. Those players, they do well in their club side. I wish and I hope that what is being done in the club side is being taken or emulated in the national team. To go a long way to help Haaland, to go a long way to help Odegaard on the national on the international space, not just the club space. So that game against Everton ended 2-0, and before the games for 4 p.m. was Manchester City, topped the league with 52 points. They topped the league with 52 points. But after 4 p.m. goal rush fixtures, Liverpool won against Burnley by 3-1. Liverpool returned back to the top of the league with 54 points. You remember they have played 24 games, while Manchester City has played just 23 games. So it's in fact the top of the league. Like the first 5 teams at the top of the league, like Liverpool are on first place with 54 points. Manchester City are on second place with 52 points. Arsenal are on third place with 49 points. Tottenham won their game today. It was a let's go. Yes, it was a let's go that they scored against Brighton. It was more like on the verge of ending 1-1, but then they finally scored a goal, 2-1, and they are on 4th place. They have leapfrogged Aston Villa into 4th. Aston Villa are now on 5th place, but it's just a point separating both teams. Tottenham are on 4th place with 47 points. Aston Villa are on 5th place with 46 points. When you look at these teams, 3, 4, 5 is just few points separating them. Anybody that gets 3 points in this course of this, in the course of all this now, Liverpool are on 54 points. Manchester City are on 52 points. If Manchester City win their next game, making it their 24th game now, they would top Liverpool. If Arsenal wins their game tomorrow, they're playing against West Ham tomorrow, they would top Manchester City. So it's been like, you top me, you win, you drop. Like, it's been very, very tight. 54, 52, 49, 47, 46. If Tottenham wins their next game, it's going to be 50 points. And Arsenal loses, Arsenal will drop into 4th place, and Tottenham would top Arsenal. If Aston Villa wins their next game for 3 points with a very good goal difference, they will be on same points with Arsenal. Like, it's very, very tough. It's very, very tight at the top of the league. The bottom half of the league is also tight to an extent. We have Everton on 19 points, Burnley on 13 points, and Sheffield United on 13 points. Who will be relegating at the end of the season? Remember, Everton had 10 points deducted because of financial fair play. They had issues. They had issues with FFP, and as such, their points was deducted. Yes, their points was 10 points was deducted from their number of points. So imagine if they had 10 points added to the 19 they have, they wouldn't be here. They'll be on maybe 15th place or thereabout. Yeah, 15. But then it has happened. It has happened. It's quite a pity. It's quite a pity. Now, for other games that was played today, Manchester City, I'm gonna run it down. Manchester City played the first game of the weekend. Manchester City won that game against Everton by 2-0. Fulham won against Bournemouth by 3-1. Liverpool won against Burnley by 3-1. Yes, Jota scored, Diaz scored, and Darwin Núñez also scored. Though Burnley pulled one back, it was 1-1 before the gates of goals started happening. It was 1-1 before halftime, and I don't know what Vincent Company told his players, but then it was not the same again for them. They considered at the 52nd minute of their game, and also at the 79th minute of the game, Nunes scored the 73rd goal of the game, and what's his name? Elliot giving 2 assists. Elliot gave the assist for Luis Diaz goal, and also the assist for Darwin Nunes goal as well. So the game ended 3-1 in favor of Liverpool. Yes, the game ended 3-1 in favor of Liverpool. Luton has been quite impressive. They've been quite impressive since, especially at home. But I don't know what happened today. They did not do the needful. They got a defeat at home. I can't remember the last time. Okay, I guess the last time Luton lost at home was against Chelsea. Yes, I don't know. But then they've always been a strong side. They've always been a formidable side at home. Against a struggling Sheffield United, wow. No one would have imagined the scoreline, honestly, to be frank with you. The game ended 1-3 in favor of Sheffield United. Sheffield United recorded another win. They got another win to kind of, they were on 10th place. They were on 10 points rather. But with this win against Luton, they now have 13 points. So it is Luton 1, Sheffield United 3. Then Tottenham stunned everybody. Brighton were on the verge of winning this game. Brighton scored an early penalty by Pascal Gropp. Pascal Gropp scored an early penalty at the 17th minute of the game. It ended 1-0 in the first half. In the second half, Pepe Sarr, the Senegalese midfielder, he scored, leveled the scoreline 1-1 at the 61st minute. It was 1-1. It was going towards like it was at the verge. He gave them 7 minutes extra time. And what happened? Bernard Johnson, just at the nick of time, at the 96th minute of the game, Son, it was more like a counter. Richarlison was a team effort. Richarlison passed the ball to Son, and Son, ran and square played that ball, and Johnson struck home. The game ended 2-1 in favor of Ange Postologo's Tottenham side. That game ended 2-1 in favor of Tottenham. Tottenham, like I said earlier, Tottenham have moved from 5th place now to 4th place with 47 points. Why? Aston Villa, that was on 4th place, have returned back. They are now on 5th place, but they have a game in hand. They'll be playing a game tomorrow. It's going to be a game against Manchester United at home at the Villa Park tomorrow. Wolves won against Chelsea last week. The game ended 4-2 rather against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Their first win against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, but I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to Wolves. Wolves has now recorded back-to-back defeat. The last time they would have lost at home was against Manchester United. That game ended 4-3. And now returning back to the Molineux Stadium, they also lost to Brentford by 2-0. Yes, 2-0. Ivan Toney has scored in all the games he has played since the 17th of February. He returned back to since the 17th of February he returned back to either 18th or 17th. But then since he returned back, for every game Ivan Toney has played, apart from the last game they played that they lost against against Manchester City. Yeah, it was against Manchester City. They lost that game. But after that game, every other game and Ivan Toney has played since he returned back to football, he has scored. Nogard scored a goal, and the last one was Ivan Toney scored at 77th minute. That game ended 2-0 in favor of the away side. I wonder what happened. To Wolves, but then it is that is football for you. That's football for you. Currently, Nottingham Forest is playing against Newcastle. It is the 64th minute of the game, and it ended 2-2 in the first half. We don't know who we were. This game is indeed a very, very tight one. Another game in the La Liga that is being played presently is Real Madrid versus Girona. That game is, in fact, Real Madrid has spelled Gero. To be honest, they have spelled Gero. It is just remaining NA to make it Girona. They are without their key midfield. I mean, without their key defenders, Real Madrid are currently on a 4-goal win, 4-0 against Girona. Girona are second on the league table, but I don't think all through this season, I don't think Girona has considered 4 goals against anything, because they have been very, very fantastic. I guess it was just like 2-0 thereabouts in the first game. In the first game, that the first leg, it was Girona's home turf. Real Madrid won that game. That is the only defeat Girona has. Okay, that game ended 3-0. Now, Girona are currently getting trashed at the Bernabeu. It is 4-0. So far against Real Madrid this season, they have considered 7 goals without scoring anyone. It is 4-0. They scored 2 goals in the first half. It was Vinicius Junior that scored in the first half and scored a goal, and what's his name? Jude Bellingham also scored as well, making it 2-0. They've scored 4 goals. 2 goals apiece in both halves. I don't understand. Like, I don't think, even without the likes of Rudiger and most of their top defenders, Real Madrid is doing exactly what we know Real Madrid to do. It is experience. They play with such precision. They play with such finesse. They play like, when you watch them play, they play good football. You enjoy Real Madrid playing football. They are not everywhere. They know what to do with the ball. They know how to attack. They know how to defend. They know how, and once they get chances, they try as much as possible to convert their chances. So it is Real Madrid 4, Girona 0. Like, Vinicius Junior scored at the 6th minute of the game. It was Valverde that gave him that assist. Jude Bellingham was assisted by Vinicius Junior. Bellingham scored again, and Rodrigo scored the second one, assisted by Vinicius. In fact, the front three they've been outstanding. Bellingham has 2 goals now. He has scored so far. He's the highest goal scorer in the La Liga. He has 16 goals presently. Now he has 16 good goals. Now he scored the 15th goal before the halftime, and now he scored the second one just a few minutes immediately, as in the second half, 54th minute. He scored the third, and Rodrigo scored the fourth. And the game is still, it's not even up to 80 minutes. It's still 67 minutes. So we might see more goals. Like Girona, they've not been hit at all. Now moving on to the Bundesliga, we have a very strong fixture that is going on presently. It is Bayern Munich versus Bayer Leverkusen. The Bayern Munich versus Bayer Leverkusen. Oh, Newcastle has taken the lead. Newcastle has scored against Nottingham Forest at the 67th minute. Yes, Newcastle just notched in their third goal. Yes, they just notched in the third goal now. Yes, they notched in their third. Wow, impressive. They notched in their third goal now. So are we going to see what happened? The same thing that happened at Newcastle's home turf when they played against Luton. The game ended 4-4. Are we going to see the same thing today? But let's see what happens. So going to the Bundesliga, we've got a very, very interesting game ongoing presently at the Bundesliga. It is it's a game between Bayer Leverkusen. It is a game between Bayer Leverkusen and Bayern Munich. Yeah, Bayer Leverkusen and Bayern Munich. This is 66 minutes, and it's Bayer Leverkusen 2, Bayern Munich 0. This is 66 minutes. Like, I don't think anybody's going to win this league, like, except something extraordinary. Because even when Boniface got injured, Victor Boniface, their talisman in Bayer Leverkusen, they got in a very prolific striker from Real Betis, and not that he is what's his name again? Iglesias. Iglesias. Is it Broja Iglesias? Yes, Broja Iglesias. They brought him in the January transfer market, and it's as if they just continued from where they stopped. It's not as I don't think they feel the absence of Victor Boniface. Victor Boniface is out injured, and he'll be coming back maybe towards the ending of March or thereabout. But it doesn't look as if he's out. His presence is being felt. Look at the way they tend to score goals. Like Bayer Leverkusen under Xabi Alonso, they are the only side that is yet to lose a game in all of Europe's top leagues. Everybody has lost. But Bayer Leverkusen is yet to lose a game. Bruno Guimaraes is a player that scored for Newcastle. He scored the first goal at the 10th minute, and he scored the third goal at the 67th minute. So it is Nottingham Forest 2, while Newcastle 3. Impressive. It is, in fact, it's been quite an interesting weekend. It is still an interesting weekend because we have a lot of games that will be played tomorrow. Of course, this evening, third place playoff, that is South Africa versus DR Congo, will be played by 9 p.m. Yeah, they're going to play who's going to get second runner up and all that. Who's going to get the bronze? Yes, because the quest for gold and silver we played again between Nigeria and Ivory Coast tomorrow by 9 p.m. Who gets bronze will be played today, South Africa versus DR Congo. I see DR Congo winning this game against South, because I don't think South Africa might, because they wish they entered the finals. Yeah, so I don't think they want to put in their bet, because even their manager, their head coach was like that this is just to fulfill all righteousness. So I don't think they want to take that game serious. They just want to play and go home. That's just it. So it is South Africa versus DR Congo, that is District Republic of Congo, by 9 p.m. tonight. For tomorrow is the gang. Tomorrow is Afcon Finals. Yes, finally the games that started on the 13th of January will be wrapping up. We'll be closing up the curtains of the Afcon. Yes, Afcon 2023. Yes, although it's played in 2024, but then it's been called Afcon 2023. Total Energies Afcon 2023 games to be ending tomorrow by 9 p.m. Nigeria versus Ivory Coast. I'm a Nigerian. I support Nigeria. Nigeria should be bringing this trophy home. This is the only good thing that at least we Nigerians can actually celebrate. We should be winning our fourth Afcon. And yes, our fourth Afcon since 2013. Yes, and this is going to be in honor of Sam Okwaraji and, of course, late Sam Okwaraji and late Stephen Keshi. Winning this will be marvelous. It's going to be, in fact, all Nigerians are rooting for our country, rooting for the Super Eagles to win this trophy tomorrow against the hosting nation, Ivory Coast. Now, for the EPL, the games for the EPL tomorrow, we have West Ham. West Ham will welcome Arsenal at the London Stadium by 3 p.m. Tomorrow, being Sunday, the 11th day of February 2023. Then by 5:30 p.m. we have Aston Villa versus Manchester United. Aston Villa versus Manchester United by 5:30 p.m. In the La Liga, we have Getafe versus Celta Vigo by 2 p.m. Mallorca will take on Rayo Vallecano by 4:15 p.m. Sevilla will take on Atletico Madrid by 6:30 p.m. and Barcelona will take on Granada by 9 p.m. Barcelona versus Granada by 9 p.m. Monday night football will have Crystal Palace face Chelsea. Chelsea lost their last two EPL games. They had an opportunity to enter at least sixth place, but they lost 4-1 against Liverpool and 4-2 against Wolves. Will they be returning back to winning ways in EPL? Because in the rematch of the FA Cup, they won that game by 3-1. It was an impressive display by Pochettino's Chelsea side. I don't know. One thing about Chelsea is that consistency has been something that has been an issue for them. They've not been consistent. So I don't know if they'll be building on that emphatic win at the Villa Park against Aston Villa. Will they take it through to the end of the last 15 games of the season in the EPL? They need to start winning games. 9 games, 10 defeats, 4 draws is not a good one. 31 points, it's not a good one at all. It is not a good one at all. So, winning against Crystal Palace, winning their next game against the next game should be Man City or thereabouts, it will go a long way. At least out of 15, if they can win 15. I'm not saying that it is possible to win 15 games. Yes, 45 points, 15 games, 45 points. It is so possible. So let's see what happens. That game will be played on Monday Night Football by 9 p.m. It is Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. Crystal Palace, on the other hand, they've suffered a lot of injuries and inconsistency. They've not been hit at all. Under Roy Hodgson. But I don't know. This game might be something they would use now to come back to winning ways. But you never can tell. The Crystal Palace will be turning up against Chelsea. You never can tell the Chelsea side they'll be turning up against Crystal Palace. Let's see what happens. So that will be all. So far, it is still Real Madrid 4, Girona 0. Real Madrid 4, Girona 0. Nottingham Forest 2, Newcastle 3, Deportivo Alaves and Villarreal, they played a 1-1 draw. Real Sociedad lost at home against Osasuna. Real Madrid 4, Girona 0. Las Palmas will be playing against Valencia by 9 p.m. Yes, and Roma versus Inter. Inter won, of course. I knew Inter will be winning against Roma. Inter, they play very good football. Like I saw I watched them a rematch of their game against Juventus, and I was like, wow, these guys, their ability to recover the ball offensively and defensively has been top notch. Like, it is 1-1-1-2. Everybody knows what to do with the ball. You don't hold the ball more than required. It's a good one. It is massive attack, massive defense. In fact, Inzaghi is doing a whole lot. Like, he's doing massively well. And I don't see anything standing between him and the Scudetto. It's going to be his first Scudetto as a head coach. Should he go all the way to win all games, get the needed points. Presently, they are topping the league table in the Serie A. So kudos to them. They won against Roma at Roma's home turf by 4-2 in favor of Inter Milan. Yes, Inter Milan. Okay, Bayern is still 2-0. It's still 2-0 in favor of Bayer Leverkusen. Let's see what happens in the end. PSG will be playing against Lille tonight by 9 p.m. Yeah, this is where I'm going to draw the curtain. Thank you so much. We'll be having it's going to be a Champions League week, and of course on Tuesday I'll be doing, maybe Tuesday on Monday evening I should be doing another podcast. The Champions League Round of 16 podcast is going to be entertaining. Thank you so much for everyone that tends to log in to listen. Thank you very, very much. Thank you so much. Tell a friend that Sports Hub with the Bear is live. It is live. It is direct. And we talk all things football. Everything that has to do with the round leather game code. That is our COR. That's our center of reference. Thank you so much. And enjoy the rest. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And this is a very saying good night. Bye. Yeah.